Hello there. So today's discussion is about how true intimacy is different than getting what you want in terms of closeness, but better if you put in the work. So I am reading a book. See, my eyes don't see as well as they used to. My right eye actually sees pretty darn good, but my left eye doesn't see quite as well. And I've been working with a brilliant eye doctor to improve my vision, which is one of the reasons why my right eye sees darn good now. And but I have a hard time getting my left eye to engage. Anyway, part of my prescription in the work with this eye doctor is to read this book called Sight and Sensibility. And this actually is an amazing book. I've just started reading it. So I'm halfway through chapter 1, or part of the way through chapter 1, but I was in tears in the introduction. And what was so amazing that was opening up for me just reading the introduction was the work that this author has done to discover scientifically how our senses, like particularly vision, you can't really separate it from the experience of the senses because it's like the attention that you give and the information that you receive. It's a mutual relationship. And this is true in intimacy as well. So what I discovered from the insight that brought tears to me when reading the introduction was the realization, based on the science that she's explored, studied, and experienced in her life, that the fact that I can't quite get the attention to be full through my left eye is kind of like the supporting actress to my right eye. I'm right eye dominant. That's actually intimately connected to why my left eye doesn't see as well as my right eye. So, and that just brought tears. So I decided to go for a walk and to take in all the sensory information with a greater intensity and attentiveness than I have in the past. And so that's what I was doing on my walk over the weekend. I took 2 walks over the weekend, and both of them were dedicated to fully opening my senses to experience all there was to experience. And one of the things that there was to experience was Canada geese, because they have a lifestyle during the warmer months along the paved path next to the reservoir where I like to walk. And I'll post a picture for y'all. So as I was deeply feeling and hearing and seeing and smelling, and I'm walking closer to these geese, I also felt like grounded into the earth. And I had the fancy thought that maybe the geese, because sometimes the geese get upset, they get like, don't get any closer to me. So I had the thought that maybe the geese would feel more peaceful towards me as I was feeling so peaceful in this place of really deep openness and being more attentive with my senses. And I did feel like the geese were less upset, but actually they didn't really get upset. But here's what's so interesting. I was very attentive to the geese as well, not like looking really intensely at them. It's a soft attention that's aware of everything. And that allows me to feel, not just be aware of what's coming in through my senses, but feel what's inside. And this was what this woman was saying, that our experience of the senses is also about our relationship to what we're sensing. And so as I experienced the geese and also experienced how I felt on the inside in relationship to the geese, I found that I felt like walking a little further away from them, like I shifted on my path so that there was more space between me and them when I walked. And it was so interesting because this idea that I had that maybe the geese will feel good about me because I'm in a deeper place of peace in my energy, and I'll be able to walk right by them and they'll feel fine about it. This was this arrogant idea. The intellect gets arrogant because it overwrites feeling. So this was an arrogant idea that I could be I could be more loved by the geese. I could be loved by the geese in this particular way that I was imagining. And but when I actually felt the geese and I felt my relationship to the geese, what felt natural was to give them more space when I walked by. And this sensitivity is so huge in intimacy because we can go to a place of feeling like I want to feel close, or I'm in the mood for something sexy, or whatever it is that we're feeling inside ourselves. But the question is, are we feeling our partner? Are we feeling the our energetic relationship to our partner in this moment? Not just our emotional, like what do we want to do, but are we feeling our partner's energy and then feeling how that flows? And it brings to mind an experience of someone on my email list. Actually, if you'd like to be on my email list, let me know. Someone on my email list, I sent a message out along these lines, and with a very simple activity to pay attention to relieving all the pressure, and then just be in whatever way being felt in that moment with your partner. And he wrote me back because he was having a deep craving for deeper connection and more intimacy with his partner. And he read my letter and then he put it into practice. And that evening, he ended up having an experience of being with his partner that did not involve sex, but it involved very attentive closeness that was in flow with where she was at. And he discovered that it was a much higher experience of intimacy than he expected. And he felt like he got the connection he was looking for, even though it didn't look the way he thought it should look from his desires. And I want to tell you even another story, but I think what I'm going to do instead is I am going to post it. So my next post, I'll tell you a story of an experience I had with a horse that also demonstrates this principle of intimacy. But just to summarize it, then, after all these examples, it's so important. I mean, intimacy is really about sharing energy. And what came to me after my experience with the geese was that it's not about being loved. It's not about getting what I want. When I really let the geese in and felt my relationship to the geese, I felt something that was bigger than myself, just myself. It was, what is the expression of Shauna with the geese right now? And it became a guiding impression for me. No, I'm not going to walk right next to the geese. Actually, what feels right is to walk a few feet to the left, giving them more space. And it was an experience of harmony. And that's what's so beautiful and exciting when we can let go of our ideas of needs, not because we shouldn't need and we should just be okay with never feeling connection. No, it's not about that. It's about this. It's about having the humility and the sensitivity to actually become energetically connected to our partners so that we can feel what the flow is and actually find that guiding impression that lets us know what the walk of intimacy or the flow of intimacy actually looks like in this moment. And when we have the humility and the trust to let go of what we think we need and to surrender to this flow, that's when intimacy becomes really magical and deep in our relationship. So I'm grateful to have the opportunity to share that with you because it was a beautiful, thoughtful experience for me with the geese. And it has deep truth in relationship. So if you have any thoughts about that topic, I'd love to hear from you in the comments or in the DMs. And I will post that experience that I had with the horse that also illustrates this so beautifully in my next post above this one. And I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be sharing about, does anxious attachment cause avoidant attachment? Ooh, let's explore that one tomorrow. Okay, talk to you soon. Have a great day.